no idea how special this is.
Mom, you can send it to my dad.
Send it to your dad?
The second I walked into the house, I froze. Somehow, a giant animal was standing calmly in my living room, and everyone swore they had no idea how she got there. What I discovered over the next few minutes still makes me laugh.
They're Aunt Bert's. Yep.
I looked at each person one by one and asked the same question. All right, who let her in? Every answer was exactly the same. Nobody knew anything, nobody opened the door, and somehow the mystery only became funnier the longer it went on. Izzy listened to all of us with complete confidence, never looking the least bit worried about being caught.
Well, I really could Dr. Cather all day.
After giving up on finding the guilty person, I walked over to her instead. She looked at me with those calm, trusting eyes and gently leaned into my hand as soon as I started rubbing the side of her neck. She has always been that kind of girl. Once she knows you're a friend, she'll happily stand beside you for as long as you'll stay with her.
Easy. You know that, right?
Yeah. You slobber.
No, that's just what.
People sometimes ask me what she's like when the camera isn't recording. Honestly, she's no different. She's patient, affectionate, and so easygoing that she'll let you scratch behind her ears, rub her neck, or simply stand beside her without asking for anything in return. Watching her enjoy those quiet moments is one of my favorite parts of every day.
They're Aunt Bert's. Yep.
As I stood there looking at her, I quietly said, "You have no idea how special this is." I wasn't trying to make the moment sound bigger than it was simply the truth. Seeing such a large animal feel completely relaxed inside our home reminded me how much trust had grown between us over the years. I laughed and shook my head. "This is crazy, you know that?" Izzy blinked at me with that peaceful expression she always has, completely unconcerned by the fact that everyone else thought the situation was unusual. If anything, she looked as though she couldn't understand why we were making such a fuss.
What is she doing?
Then I noticed she kept glancing toward the kitchen sink. That made me smile. "Did you just come in for a drink?" I asked. "Did Daddy leave the door open?" Whether that was really what happened or not, I knew she wasn't about to answer. She simply stood there, looking perfectly content with herself.
I know a thing. And I was chewing these in the,
Looking at her, I couldn't help noticing how much she had grown. "You're one big girl now," I told her. It had been a long time since she'd wandered into the house, and back then she was much easier to guide around. Now she filled the room in a way that made every chair and doorway suddenly seem much smaller.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Easy, easy, easy.
As much as I loved having her close, I also knew she couldn't stay inside. There were too many things she could accidentally bump into, especially around the kitchen. I smiled, called her name, and gently said, "Come on, sweetheart. Let's head back outside." She looked at me for a long moment without moving, almost as though she was politely deciding whether she agreed with my plan.
Look at Bob. Come on. Let's come by Bob. Come on. Come on. Come on, let's see Bob.
Izzy stayed exactly where she was and kept looking at me with the sweetest expression, as though she honestly believed there was no reason to leave. Then I saw her bend her front legs just a little, and I knew what she was thinking. I laughed and pointed at her. "No, don't even think about lying down."
Jesus.
The thought of such a big girl stretching out in the middle of my house made me laugh, but it also reminded me that I needed to get her outside before she made herself completely at home. I took a few slow steps toward the door and called her again, hoping she would decide to follow me on her own. She watched me carefully, but she still didn't move.
Oh, God.
She took one careful step, then another, never rushing or pushing. Even though she had grown into such a big girl, she always moved with remarkable gentleness. I kept talking to her the whole time, partly to encourage her, and partly because hearing my voice always seemed to help her feel relaxed.
For the pasture cow that you were. Bull, I should say. Yeah, I know.
I held another cracker a little farther outside and quietly called her name again. After a brief pause, she followed me through the doorway and stepped back into the yard. The moment all 4 feet were outside, I handed her the cracker, and she accepted it with the same gentle manners she always had. It was such a simple little victory, but everyone in the house laughed with relief.
They. You're inside. You're one big girl, too. It's been a long time since.
I watched her wander away across the yard as though nothing unusual had happened. Within a few moments, she was back to exploring, completely content with her afternoon. Meanwhile, the rest of us were still smiling about the unexpected visitor who had quietly turned the living room into part of her daily adventure.
They listen real good, don't they? Not as good as you. Stop. Keep on.
When people hear stories about animals, they often expect the biggest moments to be dramatic ones. My favorite memories are usually much simpler. They're the quiet afternoons, the shared routines, and the little surprises that remind me how much trust can grow when an animal feels completely safe with the people around her.
Not as good as you. Stop. Keep on. Get her, Boog.
Looking back, I don't remember worrying about how we were going to get Izzy outside. What stays with me is the way she stood in the middle of the house without the slightest fear, looking at us with complete confidence. That kind of trust isn't built in a single day. It comes from showing up, being patient, and sharing countless ordinary moments together until they slowly become something extraordinary.
Come on, pretty girl. Why are you mad? Huh? Why are you mad? Come on.
Every animal has their own personality, and every relationship grows at its own pace. If you're thinking about welcoming an animal into your life, take time to understand their needs, listen to experienced caregivers, and make sure you're ready for the commitment they deserve. And if Izzy's story brought a smile to your day, I truly appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing so we can continue sharing these quiet moments together.
Come on, Is. Come on, Is. Come on. Come over, my Bob. There you go. Come on. Care for her very well.
Wow.